Hello, Dr. Alex. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, and I'm so glad to have you today on this episode of Eclectica, The Different News. So I think you have done a groundbreaking work, and we will talk a lot about a very important aspect, which is bone grafting, and in particular, and focusing on the biomaterial research, extensive research that you have been doing for years. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you for your energy, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
So, Dr. Alex, let me go back to the ABCs and let me start back from the basics. So, what exactly is bone grafting? If you can tell us a little bit about it and about its application, or perhaps why it is important when we talk about biomaterials in dentistry per se.
Particular, but in general, bone grafting is a biological material and a biocompatible material that you put in the defect that you obtain when you remove a cyst or tumor, or even when you remove a tooth. When you have a hole and a defect, you can leave this empty, or you can to put some material to obtain a better healing, and you can fill with any materials. There are many alternatives. In the market, usually you can put some material for bone, for example, for the same patients from another part of the body. You can obtain in the market different materials from animals or human corpse, cadaveric materials, or you can obtain some synthetic materials like the bone. This is in general about the bone grafting. It's very necessary many times.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Alex, for that answer. So, what do you think are the challenges faced when it comes to bone grafting procedures? And to extend that question, I can also add that how can like the developments of biomaterial like geode bone that you have done can help us address those challenges or provide a solution for those challenges? That would be very interesting to know from you.
Yeah. You know that you must keep in mind that in less developed country, clinical care is not carried out with optimal conditions in terms of sterilization, operator rooms, etc. Like another country with a great resource. So it's so much probably that to have complications related to the infections when you have a patient and you are expecting that it healing itself, especially with the large bone defects. So it's more safer if you fill the bone defects with something that guides, helps and accelerates the bone healing. So one features of our grafting materials like your bone is that in addition to many good properties like that, it has like other grafting biomaterials present on the market, it has a very low cost of manufacture. So could become a very good and realistic alternative for our patients, especially when they have healing problems, another disease like diabetes or cancer, etc. So it's a very useful for our developed countries.
Thank you, Dr. Alex. So, well, before I go to my next question, I was a little curious to know that how exactly this idea of getting into and creating a biomaterial like geode bone came to your mind. I mean, what is there any story behind it, or is there any inspiration which actually pushed you to get into this part of area of research and bring up with such a wonderful product?
Around 10 years ago, we began to work with bioengineering colleagues and friends of the semi university, and we began to think in some alternatives for our patients. I work in the clinical with my patients from, I don't know, more than 30 years, and we don't have a very good and with very good optimal characteristic biomaterial. So we find some literature that they are saying that the special shape of the biomaterial, very special shape of the particles that you make this biomaterial bone grafting, and for another hand we have the use of the 3D printing. We were working with this a way to build different things. So we put together two things, and we design very special material with very special particles, and we patented the shape of the particles, and we can obtain a better results than with another kind of bone grafting that there exists in the market. Uh, because you know that in this moment any no dentist use it, almost no dentist use it by material or bone grafting, because you don't have the confidence for to obtain results. So with this material you can obtain more results, more confidence, fewer complications like infections, and it's very useful. It's more effective. You can obtain better results. We are in the validation, in the last validation about that precisely.
Thank you, Dr. Alice, for that answer.
On the other hand, you know that the clinical, the professional don't have confidence with the current materials. And for another hand, the alternatives in the market are with a very high prices. They don't use it. So we are expecting that with this material, with more sure, with more safer, and it's with a very cheap cost, a very low cost, you can make some change in the mind of the colleagues. We are expecting that in our countries, it could be a very good alternative.
Yeah, I think that was something which I was trying to ask you in my next question. Like, because in many developing countries, there is a lack of access to high quality healthcare infrastructure. So, how can the availability of advanced biomaterials like bone for bone grafting contribute to bridging this healthcare gap and improve patient outcomes? What do you think? What is your opinion on this?
Yeah, I think that's I was telling you that almost no dentists in the world are using this kind of materials like bone grafting, because they don't have confidence in the current alternatives, and for and plus the high price that they have. Finally, nobody is going to suggest something to the patient if he is not sure of the results and the high economical cost. Even now, we are expecting that we have new materials that gives them more confidence and better health results. We are obtaining better results, and best of all at very low cost. We hope that the mental focus of our colleagues will start to change, especially in our country, with more possibilities to make things with our patients.
Right, right. I think I agree with you, because cost effectiveness of any new thing that we are doing, and in countries, in developing countries, cost effectiveness in this is very crucial factor. So, as you were telling, but still, I would like to know that how does the development of biomaterials specifically designed for bone grafting impact the affordability and accessibility of these procedures in resource constrained settings?
You know that the economic aspects are crucial to public health decisions. You know that the political agreements or the financial decisions. So always it will be impossible to consider that the public health system, for example, financials biomaterials or implant for bone regeneration is impossible in our countries. But when we're talking about an alternative that reduces significantly a patient total times of recovery with fewer complications like infections and rejections, half time, half healing time, and halves the cost of all existing ones. I think that we are sure that it will be a great impact in the health systems.
I think that's very interesting to know. And just I'm very curious because we're talking about bone grafting and biomaterial research and kind of product that you have already developed. So, can you explain us the key features and benefits of geode bone as a biomaterial for bone grafting, and how exactly it is, differentiating itself from other solutions which are already available in the market?
Our biomaterial yet body has several features that explain the results that we are expecting, that we are having. This graphic biomaterial is made from, I told you, from particles that are built one by one, hundreds minutes in one go. You put an enter, and in a couple of hours you can obtain thousands particles in one go. Uh, all particles are built by 3D printing. This is the way of to manufacture that with rapid prototyping. They are made from sulfate with crystals of sulfate, phosphate, calcium phosphate, hydroxide crystals, or a mixture of them. All particles of these bone grafting materials have a special shape that I told you, and a very special porosity, and they are designed by and calculated by computer. And we have this shape, this special shape. We have patented in Chile, and these patents are in progress in another country, Brazil, United States, and it's calculated to improve the osseointegration. There are many special things that you can to obtain better results in the osteoinduction when some materials induct to the bone, to the mesenchymal cells to produce bone. To Our material works to make some osteoinduction. Plus that osteoconduction, you can induction to the cells of the environment to make more bone. And our material, we saw in the test laboratory that it produces neovascularization. These are new vessels into the environment to make more bone. These things means that to make shorter healing of the patients.
Right.
And the manufacturer way, for another hand, is not expensive. It's cheaper than the competitors.
Great, great. I think that's a wonderful information that we got from you. And anything like when we try to bring some new product through research and coming out in the market, I think in terms of investing or investors per se, I'm sure you know better than me that investors are always interested in potential opportunities for growth. So, regarding Geodbone, I am just curious to know that what are the investment possibilities associated with Geodbone, both in terms of financial returns and the broader social impact. I mean, how is this? How would you position this biomaterial in the market from an investment perspective?
Yeah, there are several investment alternatives with your Bone Biotech SPA. This is the name of our spin-off that we have. This an spin-off from my university, the Catholic University. They help us to make this entrepreneurship. But the most attractive things for us is to find smart money with partners that we are talking about the same. To find partners for working together in this development. For us, is the most attractive things. But another possibility is to do a joint venture with an investor or with a group, investor group, interested in investing in on doing some. But we were happy if this group is thinking to do something unique for our countries and for our patients, and why not very profitable in other markets too. We have some several economic study in the American market, for example, and it's very profitable alternatives. Another possibility is that our technology could be incorporated into a pharmaceutical or dental company that is just exists and that is working in the field of implant or tissue regeneration. There are many in the Asian or the Indian areas that exist in this moment, and could be another alternatives too.
Great. I think that's a good news. That's a very good news. Or looking towards the future, what, according to you, are could be the some potential developments in biomaterials for bone grafting that could further enhance healthcare outcomes in developing countries? Your insights would be really valuable for all of us to know.
That we have still a lot of things to do in this area, in the area of the healing or the tissue engineer for to help our patients. I think that the industry is this industry is not moving. Is my thing. They are not moving as fast as it should be doing because current developments are profitable, are enough in this moment, and any innovation, for another hand, is so expensive and very slow. We have more than 10 years working in this project. It takes years to develop something new. So, for another hand, some aspect of research and innovation pending to be carried out to improve health outcomes are find the best shape and the best size of the particles to improve the results in special disease. We're working in normal patients with the normal health to heal the bone, for example. But we are not working yet in the special patients with the special disease that are very common. Each year is more common to find patients with osteoporosis, with osteopenia in women more than 60 years. Bone metastasis. I work in the central cancer of my university, and it's very common to find a patient with starting with special treatments with very hard drugs like biophosphonitis. This is very special things that is starting in the world where we are finding very difficult to help the bone healthy. And for another hand, is to find better components to include in the manufacture of the future particles. We can introduce new particles or new bone grafting biomaterials with growing proteins, for example, that help better than the bone healthy. Special antibiotics for bones, for example, for special health that we're talking like diabetes, for example. No, there are future, very big future for to do in this area. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Alex. I think it was a very insightful discussion, and knowing about your bone and the kind of work that you are doing, I think future and the future perspective of this area as such per se biomaterial is very fascinating, and I think more developments and more innovations can give us really practical solutions to help our patients. So thank you so much for being once again for being on my show, and I hope that we'll meet in future for more insightful conversations like this.
No, thank you for this opportunity to know this our expectative and our spin-off. Yeah. It's very necessary for our patients.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Dr. Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Same here.